Hi guys, how's it going? I hope you're all doing super well. It feels like forever since I've sat down and chatted with you guys because it has been a really long time. I was in Europe for a few weeks. For those of you who didn't know, it was just the best. You guys, it was just the best. But we got home last week, just have kind of been, you know, getting back into the swing of real life, and which is not easy, I will tell you. But I thought for today's video, we could just do a nice little get ready with me, just a little catch up. I actually have right here my makeup case that I had with me while I was gone, so I thought it would be good to do kind of a get ready with me using the makeup I had when I was gone, because I obviously was just doing kind of like simple makeup. And yeah, as I kind of chat, I'll fill you in on my trip. I'll tell you what else is new, and yeah, I think we should just jump on into it. It is so nice in Calgary. It is like my car said it was like 26 degrees today, which is so crazy. Like that's hotter than normal for us, I would say, at this time of year. But we finally got an air conditioner, so I'm sorry if you can hear it. It's in the living room, but like it is saving our lives because we've been in this place now for like 2.5 years. This is going to be our third summer, and I basically was like, I cannot bear the thought of another summer of like dying of heat. Like we face this way. Isn't that sad? I don't know what direction this is. South? Anyways, we face the way that the sun is always coming in, so our apartment gets so hot. So yes, we have a new air conditioner. You can probably hear it, but that's all that is. So for my base product, I'm going to be using the It Cosmetics CC cream. I traveled with this guy in the shade Light, the same product in the shade Fair, and also my Lancome Tint Idol Ultra 24-Hour Wear Foundation. And I brought these with me because they all have sunscreen in them. So I thought instead of worrying about daily sunscreen, I'll just get it in my makeup product. But I really did kind of stick to these two products. To these two here, these shades. And right now, I don't really have a tan. I'm just kind of like red looking these days. So I'm using the light shade to kind of cancel out that redness. I've really been trying to, though, lately to use less foundation and just kind of keep my base product nice and light, and then use concealer where I need it. But I do just have a lot of redness in my skin. Maybe I have rosacea, who knows? But I love this product so much. It smells like lemons, and actually, but I've heard other people say it doesn't smell like lemons. To me, it is so distinctly lemon scented, but it might just have like a fresh smell to it to others. And I love how it feels on the skin because it's good for your skin with the sunscreen, and it moisturizes. I was just laying down. You can see there's like a dent on my face. But yeah, okay, so where shall I start? First of all, what I wanted to say is before I left, I had flirted with the idea of vlogging my trip, and that didn't end up happening. It was more so just that, like, Brooks, honestly, it's not blaming him at all, but like he doesn't really like love being on camera, and I don't know, I just didn't want to always be like, look, now we're here, and I feel like that just was gonna irritate him, kind of thing. However, I've made on my Instagram, I know a lot of you guys follow me on Instagram, so you might have already seen it, but for those of you who don't, I made a little highlight, and it's on my Instagram page. My Instagram is just at Kelsey Kristyn, and it has all of our trip. Like, I did a ton of Instagramming when I was gone, like of the stories, Instagram stories. So if you guys do want to see that, a little highlight reel, you can check that out, because it actually, like, there's a lot of stuff on there and kind of like funny things. So if you're interested, that is on my Instagram. But yeah, isn't this product nice? It's super lightweight. It leaves your skin looking nice and dewy. I like to bring it down so that I'm getting like the sunscreen down my neck, and I was using a separate sunscreen for my body, but this was covered for my face. For my concealer, I'm going to take a little bit of the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer. This is super full coverage, so I just like to take a tiny little dot just right in my inner corner area, and then I'm going to take a little bit to balance out my face as well. So we started off, so the trip, okay, so we started off in Ireland and we were there for 8 days. We first got to Dublin and were there for a few days, and then we basically had a rental vehicle that we drove across the entire country, and then we ended up on the west side. See, I know my directions sometimes, but we ended up on the west side. Dublin's on the east, so we went west. And like Ireland, honestly, you guys, I would recommend everyone visiting there. I don't know what it was about it, but like Dublin, the big city, was so much fun. There was so much energy. It almost had like, I guess, I don't know, like a youthfulness to it. Like it was so wonderful, and there was so much to do and so much to see. And we were there, like I said, for 3 days. So we did a lot in that time, and it was just so awesome. And then we went all the way to the other side of the country. I think it was like a 3-hour drive to Galway, which was, we loved it there as well. And then we also went to Dingle and Doolin, and these are all just these like little beach towns. Like they just are all based right around the water. And we went to the Aran Islands, which is just off the coast, and oh, it was just all so good. Like it was just awesome. I'm gonna set my face just a little bit very lightly using the Maybelline Fit Me Powder. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was just so wonderful. Brooks and I have been together for many years, like 7 years actually. When we were when we filmed like a boyfriend tag a few months ago, we both realized that we said the wrong amount of time we've been together. We've actually been together 7 years, not 6 years like we said in that video. Oh, us, very romantic. But yeah, we've been together for a very long time, and of course we've taken trips together and we've gone away together, but nothing like this before. We've never spent like an extended period of time traveling, just the two of us, and there was something just so special about it. Like I feel like I would recommend that to every single couple out there. It was really, really worth it. So yeah, it was just, I felt like Brooks was really good at like planning things. He found so many different activities for us to do and figured out the best spots for us to go visit, and he'd be like, oh, we should go to this town because this is happening, because we didn't have our whole trip planned before we got there. And so he was really good at kind of figuring out what we should do. For some like bronzing and contouring, I'm going to take this little palette from Lancome. This was so handy when I was gone, because it is so just like compact and tiny, and the product in here is really, really nice. It just blends nicely. Oh my gosh, I need to wash. Like that doesn't even look like the shade of bronzer I ever use, but I need to wash my brushes. But yeah, so Brooks was so good at like planning things and figuring out what to do, and I was just, I don't know, I was just so impressed with that. And then I was good at kind of keeping us on time, getting us up in the morning, navigating. Like we realized Brooks does not have a strong sense of direction. So yeah, I was kind of like keeping us organized, and then he was the one being like, okay, let's figure out, like, let's do this, let's do that. So we made a really good travel pairing, I think. So yeah, so that was Ireland. Just the friendliest people, super nice. We met so many kind people. It was honestly so much like Canada, which is probably why I liked Ireland so much, is because it just very much felt like home. It really, really did. And I would recommend visiting Ireland, absolutely. It was such a great week that we had there. And then after that, we flew to Germany actually, and we were right in Munich. And it was also amazing. Like it was wonderful over there. It has a very different vibe than Ireland, that's for sure. People just have a little bit more like urgency, I guess. I am just going to take my Maybelline Total Temptation brow pencil thing. But yeah, so what did we do in Munich? Oh my gosh, you guys, we did so much. Like every single day we were there. I actually brought a little notebook with me, and I kind of journaled, not like in depth. I just kind of every single day would write down what we did, and kind of like notes of like little funny things that happened here and there. And then afterwards I'm gonna print some photos and like put it into the journal, so I have a little kind of scrapbook thingy, because I feel like even just being back you forget so much of what you do just because it's like the days are so jam-packed. Like we were gone for 19 days and it truly, like, I feel like we did like 3 months worth of stuff. Like every single day it was just like get up, get out, go see stuff. Like we weren't intending it to be a super relaxing time, you know, and I'm glad we did that because we really just did so much. But like in Munich, what else? I'm trying to think, what did we do? Oh, we went to a soccer game, or shall I say football, which was really cool. We don't have like, or maybe we do. I don't think we have like major soccer in Canada. Well, we definitely don't have major football in Canada like they do over there. And it was just a really cool experience. I'm not a soccer fan. Football, I don't know what I'm supposed to call it. Is it, should I say football? I don't know. But I'm not like this fan of that whatsoever. But it was just really cool. I've never seen such passionate fans and like the atmosphere, like, because I've been to football games, like American football games and hockey games and whatnot, but this was just a completely, like a whole nother level. Like it was very cool. And I think for Brooks, that he's a big sports guy, I think it was such a highlight for him of the trip. It was a highlight for me too. It was a really fun day. And what else did we do? It just so happened, we got really lucky. So Munich is where they do the big Oktoberfest in October, of course. And I'm looking for a blush here. I'm going to take this Urban Decay blush. This is in the shade Obsessed. I was so glad, oops, wrong brush. I was so glad I had this with me when I was gone. Isn't this pretty for springtime? Just like a beautiful little flush of blush. Wow, I got sidetracked there. What was I talking about? Oh, Oktoberfest. So, when we were there, it just so happened to be something called Frühlingsfest, which is like their spring festival, I guess. And it was really nice. When I worked at Suncor, when I worked for a different company many years ago, I met a friend there and he actually reached out to me. I haven't talked to him in years. He reached out to me just through Instagram and was like, hey, I see you're in Germany. I actually live here now. Here's a list of stuff you should do. Like, it was really helpful. So he suggested to go to Frühlingsfest, and it was so much fun. Like, it was so much fun. It was just like they had like rides and like beer gardens, and yeah, Brooks and I just had such a great time. It reminded us of Stampede a little bit. If you're not aware, Calgary, the city I live in, has this like big event every year called the Stampede, and it was so much fun. I'm gonna take some highlighter, just this one from Maybelline. So that was actually, yeah, that was also really awesome. We went to a concentration camp in Germany, the Dachau concentration camp one day, which was, oh, like, it's really hard to describe because it was so humbling and so upsetting. Like it was just, I'm really glad we went, but it was tough. Like, we went in the morning, we're there for a few hours, and I feel like afterwards Brooks and I were both just like silent. We were not talking. We were just like, there was just no words, I guess, to describe. It was just awful, but I'm glad we went. So we did that one day. I actually, you guys, this is a newer product for me. I got this right before I left. This is the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne Daydream eyeshadow palette. They have these on sale. I don't know if they still do, but I got this for half off from Shoppers Drug Mart, and so I was super excited about it because I absolutely love the shades in here. It's just a palette of 5 matte eyeshadow shades if you're not, if you haven't seen it before, but I took this with me, of course, and I used it a ton. So I'm going to take the Daydream shade right here and put that in my crease. So yeah, after we were in Munich for a few days, we actually went to Austria. I'm also going to take a little bit of the Daydream palette, or the Daydream shadow, and put it underneath my, on my lower lash line. So yeah, then so when we went to Austria, we thought it was so interesting. Like, we took a train from Munich to Salzburg, and it was only like 2 hours, like a 2-hour train ride, and so inexpensive. For Brooks and I to both go on the train, it was 31 euros, which we thought that was like so cheap. And it was so weird, like, they're different countries, but there's no like border patrol. You don't have to like show your passport. Like, it's just, you know, we thought that was very interesting. But Salzburg was incredible. Like, oh my goodness, Salzburg was so awesome. For my lids, I actually didn't bring any like shimmery eyeshadows or anything when I was gone. For eyeshadows, all that I had was this guy, and then I had my IT Cosmetics contour palette that I was using for eyeshadows, and then I was putting this all over my lids a lot, so I think I'll do that today. So yeah, in Salzburg, it was just the most beautiful city. It was so clean. And it literally just, it looks straight off of a postcard. Like, the city is just based around this river canal, and people there, again, were just very nice, and it was very charming. It's a very charming place. We were only there for 2 nights, like 3 days, but we both really, really love Salzburg. We went on a Sound of Music bike tour. You guys, that for sure was a highlight of the whole trip for me, like one of my favorite days that we had. It was just amazing. So I grew up watching The Sound of Music. It has always been a favorite movie of like everybody in my family, all the women in my family. So I've grown up watching it. And so in Salzburg, we actually got to see, I'm gonna take a little bit of 8 and put this on kind of the outer corner of my eye. But yeah, we got to see like where the Von Trapp family home, and the gazebo where Liesl does like the 16 going on 17 dance, and the abbey, like where the nuns are. And it was just very cool because that movie was basically entirely filmed there. And so yeah, if you're not familiar with The Sound of Music, none of that probably means anything to you. And if you're not familiar, you need to watch it because it's the best movie ever. But it was like this 4-hour bike tour, and it was really cool because we not only got to see all this like Sound of Music stuff, but it was just really cool to see Salzburg on a bike, like to be touring around. It was really cool. So if you're in Salzburg, I would highly recommend it. And yeah, it was so cool. Like, Kelsey, blend your eyeshadow, my goodness. I'm kind of just enjoying doing my makeup right now, so I'm kind of doing more than what I was doing when I was gone. But normally when I was gone, I would still be doing all this, but just kind of a crease shadow plus mascara, and then I would be done. But yeah, right now I'm just having fun, guys. I of course brought my L'Oreal Infallible eye pencil, the brown one, with me because I use this all the time. I'm just gonna smudge a little bit of that into my lash line. But yeah, after Salzburg, we went back into Germany, but we went to a little town in Germany called Füssen. And Füssen is kind of famous for having castles, and there's one castle there we went and saw, and it's like what the Cinderella castle was based off of, I guess, and it was stunning. It was very cool. So we went and did that, and it was actually really nice because in both Ireland and Germany, we made a point of seeing like big cities and also small towns just to kind of like get a feel for both things. So I'm really glad we went to Füssen. It was, again, a very kind of little charming town, and everywhere there like is just so beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong, Canada's so beautiful, but it's just cool to see other countries and other places. It was just very cool to see, and it was so nice. Everywhere we went, people would be like, oh, they would hear like our accent and be like, oh, you're Canadian, or they would guess that we're from Canada, and then people would tell us how much they love Canada and how it's the best country and all this, and we were like, yeah, we know, like, so yeah, that was awesome. I love being Canadian. I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, and then for mascara, I'm just going to take a little Lancome Grandiose. And then, yeah, after Fusen, we went back up to Munich because that's where we were flying out of. We spent a couple more days there, and then we came home. And overall, like, it was just so good. It was just, it's worth the money. Like, it is worth it. But yeah, like I said, if you do want to see kind of like further details, go watch that Instagram story because I put so much stuff in there, and you'll get to see Brooks a lot, and you'll get to see the dozens of Guinness pints he had in Ireland. But yeah, so in the past week, I don't know why I'm yelling all of a sudden, I apologize, but in the past week, I've just been getting back into work and getting my house organized. And like I said, we came back and it was super hot here, so we got an air conditioner, and yeah, this is now kind of like, I'm actually really looking forward to the summer. I have lots of weddings to go to. I'm doing lots of makeup for weddings, and yeah, there's just a lot of good things happening. We still have some more trips coming up, so I feel like that's the one kind of thing keeping me going, because man, coming home and kind of having the travel blues, so they say, actually I don't even know if that's a term, that's just kind of what I've been thinking it is, but kind of just feeling a little bit, you know, bummed out that it's over now. This has been something we've been looking forward to for so long, but yeah, I'll be honest, I am bummed it's over. Like, oh my gosh, I would go relive the whole thing start to finish if I could. But yeah, it's nice that we still have a lot of great things to look forward to, and you know, I do love my job, so I'm really lucky about that too, that I come back to something that I enjoy and that I look forward to getting back into and that kind of stuff. I love this mascara. I haven't used it, like I said, for the past week or so because it's just been in this bag, and honestly, because I use this stuff every single day for 3 weeks, of course I was looking forward to using some other stuff, but this mascara, it's so good. Like, Lancome and their mascaras are just awesome. I was wearing this lip color, you know, these little color Riche bombs that I'm obsessed with. This is in Luminous Coral. Oh my gosh, my lips are dry. Maybe this is not a good idea. It was so nice and humid over there that I feel like my hair and my lips and my nails and everything were feeling so nice, and then you get back to Calgary and it is like, ouch. Alright guys, so there is, I zoomed in a little bit, just a super quick and simple, easy makeup look. That you saw, that was all happening in real time. That was actually pretty quick. This is the makeup that I used while I was gone on my trip, and yeah, just, you know, nothing special over here. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this makeup look, and hearing about my trip a little bit. I am happy to be home though. Like, I will say, I'm such a homebody. There is no place like being in your own bed and, you know, making your own meals and that kind of stuff. So yeah, super happy to be home, to be back to work, to be, you know, filming and YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff. If you do have any video recommendations, please leave them down below. I'm going to film another video right now. I did some makeup shopping at the drugstores in Ireland. Like, of course I did, right? So I'm going to do that right now. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. Thank you for subscribing. It means so much to me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!